Hey guys, I'm Carlin Barasenko with Decode the Left. I'm an analyst and an independent journalist covering far-left radical revolutionary socialist and communist groups in America. I've been doing deep dives into these groups for about 4 years now. You can find thousands of hours of my archived content over on my YouTube channel. I also stream on X and Rumble, and you can always check out my Substack. There's a lot of archive content there as well. Carlin, Karlyn, .substack.com. I have to say, welcome to all of the new subscribers and followers I've been getting across my platform. For people who've just discovered my work in the past week or so, I'm not happy about the reason you've discovered my work, but I am happy you made it eventually. This is something that I've been talking about for a while now, but I've really been beating the drum for months and months and months that I thought the left was going to do something like this summer. And so, I'm happy to be right, because that means my analysis of the situation was correct. When everyone else was saying the left was demoralized, I was saying, no, they're not. They're just organizing. But it also makes me upset because I do think we are in for a world of hurt this summer. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm really afraid of for this coming Saturday with the No Kings protests that were already scheduled to happen. Because, listen, this is a perfect storm of just like one of those moments where for the past couple years, well, quite frankly, ever since the George Floyd riots in 2020, by the way, the left calls the 2020 BLM riots, they call it the George Floyd uprising or the George Floyd rebellion. The left is absolutely 100% trying to recreate the riots of 2020, but they actually want to escalate it beyond that. And this is a plan. They've been organizing around this. They've been planning to do this. They've been trying to light the spark of this for literally years. And so now I think that we are at a time where the left can never quite predict when the spark is going to be lit, but they're constantly trying to instigate and provoke these types of situations to light what they call a pre-revolutionary crisis, which is basically a mass uprising of people that overwhelms the system and destabilizes everything. And I think that they might be getting their wish this summer. Because, listen, a couple days ago, when we were just seeing rioting in Los Angeles and we were seeing these immigrant rights groups get involved in creating all this damage and destruction and stuff like that, I thought that this might be a little bit of a flare-up from the left. I didn't think it was going to be as big as I think it is going to be now. I am now convinced that we are going to see a massive, 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 massive turnout this weekend on Saturday. The reason that I say that is because I'm constantly tracking far-left groups all over the country. And yesterday, and you can go to my Twitter feed, Dr. Carlyn B, DrKarlyn, the letter B. I post all this stuff from primary sources from the left only, so I'm actually using the Left's own video to show you what they're doing. We saw massive protests in the middle of the week on a Tuesday. We saw massive protests in New York, Boston, Milwaukee, Chicago, Seattle. Seattle had Antifa rioting all day. Obviously, Los Angeles is still popping off. We're starting to see protest groups form across the South in places like Texas and Phoenix, Arizona, and Denver, Colorado is going to be a huge one. We are starting to see Atlanta. Atlanta was extremely violent last night. There are a lot of far left groups that are out right now that are protesting, that are organizing, that are turning out these massive, massive numbers. If you guys have not seen the videos from yesterday, listen, I know that people might be, if this was happening on a weekend, if yesterday happened on a weekend, people would say, oh, the left is out protesting, and I don't think a lot of people would think this is a big deal. To get people to come out to a protest on a Tuesday afternoon, when many of them do have to work, and I know people like to say the left doesn't have jobs, they do actually have jobs. They actually do. Don't ever say they don't have jobs. Not only do they have jobs, but then in addition to their jobs, they go out and protest and organize in their spare time. So on a Tuesday afternoon, in some of these cities, they were getting out thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people on a moment's notice. They didn't really have that long to plan this. That's incredibly impressive. And it is an indicator for what we can expect to see at the No Kings mass protests nationwide this Saturday. I have been on the Saturday organizing calls for the past 2 days. You can find the full streams on my channels, where I just stream the whole thing publicly, so you can actually go and see everything that I'm about to tell you. The No Kings protest has almost 2,000 events nationwide on Saturday. Now, some of those events are going to be little house parties and people getting together, and obviously those events aren't really that dangerous or even that significant. But there are going to be major protests and organized efforts in major cities. Philadelphia is going to have a huge contingent of far leftists come out. Chicago is going to have a huge contingent. Atlanta, obviously Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, Milwaukee, I think is going to have one. Houston, Texas, actually, for some reason, has something large scheduled. Even like places like Charlotte, North Carolina, I think is going to have something scheduled. Something in North Carolina. It might be Asheville, North Carolina. I'm not, but there is absolutely something in North Carolina. If you want to go on their website, you can find the map of where all the big events are. I'm going to be going to the one in Boston, which is combined with the Pride Festival. That's another wrench in this. It's not even just the No Kings protest this weekend. A lot of cities are having Pride festivals this weekend as well. So there's that. You're not just, and there's also all sorts of different groups organizing right now. So of course you have the No Kings people, which is more of a progressive leftist group. You have the Pride festivals, which is the queer Marxists, which is next level insanity. And it's kind of funny that Pride is getting canceled this year in some respects, but those queer Marxists are crazy. I cover them a lot on my channel. We're not seeing a lot of them yet in this effort, but I have a feeling they're going to start showing up. We have, of course, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Also the Answer Coalition is combined with the PSL. Those two work together. Laura Loomer posted a video today of the Answer Coalition protesting on the side of a street. She said, "Who are these people?" And I said, "They're the Party for Socialism and Liberation." Laura, it's exactly the same people. And then, of course, we have Antifa. And Antifa is mobilizing. Antifa has been doing reports from the field. I'm actually going to be doing a live stream on my Substack. Again, carlin.substack.com, Karlyn, later today, where I'm going to read you the latest dispatch from Antifa, because what Antifa does is they give us back reports from on the ground in real time so that we can see from their perspective what's going on. They're going to be out at a lot of these protests, and I think they're going to be out in the day, and I think they're going to be out at night. I do not think that the system, the police, the National Guard, the military, ICE, whatever you want, I do not think that the system and the military and the government are prepared for what is about to happen on Saturday. And people also have to understand that what happens on Saturday is not the end of any of this. This is the beginning. They have been trying to light the spark for months and months and months. The protests have been going on for months and months and months. Maybe it wasn't getting a ton of coverage on conservative media, but I've been watching all of this on my channel. They're only getting bigger. They're only escalating in their tactics. And right now, the left is highly, highly, highly energized. They're psyched by what they're seeing. This to them is confirmation that they are pushing at the right time. You got to understand, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because in this scenario, a lot of people have come out in favor of the Trump deportations, right? Because they're seeing all these Mexican immigrant groups cause chaos in Los Angeles, and they're like, yeah, we don't want these people in our country. So that, of course, makes sense. So that, from my personal perspective, is probably a good thing, but don't get it twisted. Just because more of the normie public is supporting Donald Trump's deportations because of the unrest and the rioting and stuff like that, the far left is nothing but energized by this. They're seeing massive numbers come to their causes as well, guys. As many people on the right see new people coming to their side of things, the left is also seeing massive numbers on their own side. Also keep in mind, this is an opportunity for the far left to really radicalize people who are already on the left. They're like Democrats and liberals and progressives that are pissed off at the Democratic Party. And now the far left is trying to radicalize them to move them further left, to get them into their organizing ecosystem, to get them out to a protest, to get them out to a meeting, stuff like that. The far left hates the Democratic Party. They want to see the Democratic Party destroyed just as much as they want to see the Republican Party destroyed. Mark my words. So I think we're going to see massive protests this weekend. I think the numbers are going to be off the charts. Please be careful if you go. Please be safe. Don't stay out after night if you don't have to, because the Antifa comes out at night. And I'll be doing updates throughout the week on my Substack, on my YouTube channels. Come along, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. I really appreciate you guys. Welcome to all the new people. Get ready if you're new. You're about to see things you cannot unsee. And I'll show you all the craziest stuff on the left that no one else is showing you. Catch you later. Bye.